Hi everyone, welcome to my very first bullet journal video. As you might have known, I've been bullet journaling for quite some time, but I've only recently decided to make videos about my bullet journal spreads. I'm not a professional artist or illustrator, but just a girl with an obsession for planning and creativity. I'd love to inspire you guys by showing you what I can do, especially since I think you don't need to be a professional artist or illustrator to pick up bullet journaling and do it in your own cool, creative way. Today, I want to show you my setup for November. It has only recently begun to feel like autumn here in the Netherlands, and so I decided to do an autumnal theme this month for my spread. I chose to work with a leaf for my cover page and fill them in with all sorts of autumnal colors, which you can already see lying next to my bullet journal. I chose to work with a leaf because leaves are often not too hard to draw, and I think they're really cute for autumnal themed spreads, so that's why I chose to work with one for my cover page. As you can see, I'm not using a brush pen to write in November, but I'm just using my faux calligraphy technique, which is going over the text again with a fine liner and just filling in all the empty spaces in between. And this way I don't have to use brush pens because brush pens are not really part of my skill set yet. I still need to work on that. So instead of that, I just filled in the title later on. As you can see, I'm now doodling all sorts of autumnal stuff all around the leaves, such as a bobble hat, a set of mittens, some other leaves, a cup of hot tea, and an egg one, because I think those are really, really cute and just fill up the page a bit more. So sorry for putting my head in the picture frame, by the way. I'm just already getting used to how to film these kind of videos. You would totally laugh at me if you saw my setup. Anyway, I also drew some small lines next to the leaves to make the illusion that they actually come flying in, and are being carried by the wind, which I thought was really cute as well. And as you will see, I will later on use my Crayola Super Tip markers, which I've only recently got. So this is actually the first time that I'm using them, and I absolutely love them. And I will use those to color in the details of my cover page, and I think it turns out really cute, as you will see in a moment. Okay, so on to the next page. Next to my cover page, I decided to do a quote page with a quote I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I absolutely love the quote, "I like you a latte," but since it is autumn, I thought I'd spice things up a little and create a more autumnal quote. So I chose to add the pumpkin spice part. The quote actually says, "I like you a pumpkin spice latte," and I thought it was really clever and really funny. And I love to doodle around it. So what I did was create a scarf and a coffee cup and incorporate the quote into that. And later on, fill it in with all sorts of autumnal colors, like I did with the cover page. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of it. I thought it was really cool and really cute. So let's get into it. Okay, on to the monthly spread. Normally, I would opt for a vertical layout for my monthly spread, in which I will separate my personal, my work items. But since November is kind of a quiet month, since I'm going on holiday and I don't really have a lot of work at the moment, I didn't feel the need to separate the personal and the work items, so I just opted for a horizontal layout, and I decided to draw a calendar, which I think is really cute as well. I've actually never done this before, so I'm really interested to see how this will turn out and whether I'll be liking it throughout the month as well. I measured out the boxes up front, so all of the boxes are 6 by 6 dots each. And I just drew them out without a ruler because I think it looks kind of cool when it's a little bit messy instead of like really clean and neat when you do use straight lines. So yeah, that's what I did. And I also opted for round edges instead of square edges, which makes it a little bit more messy as well. I added in the days of the week, and then I crossed out the boxes that I won't be needing, since November only has 30 days, so I won't be needing all of them. And I think just the overview is more clear if I do it like this. Next, you'll see me using my markers to create little dots in which I will put the date. I thought it was really cute to switch it up with the colors, but I wanted to measure out a little bit to spread them evenly. And I did mess up a little bit, but that's quite all right because you can't actually see it in the end result and it looks really cute anyway. So I thought that was really cute, and I used the same colors that I used for my cover page, which I'll be actually using throughout the entire spread. Next, I decided to use my fine liner to draw in the month of November. Just really plain and simple, but I kind of liked it that way. And then I used one of the markers to highlight the days of the week. I thought it was just really cute and it was kind of missing something. I also added the monthly goals section, which is I think is really really useful, and I just really like doing them. And I drew it in the form of an eggcorn, which I thought was really autumnal. I really liked how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. To finish off this page, I turned it around and I made a little quote using the different kind of markers that I have. And I just wrote autumn vibes, but then in all the different colors. And I thought it was really fun, and I think it looks a little bit playful. So I actually really like that. Okay, so now that my monthly spread is done, I'm moving on to my tracker pages. I am an absolute fan of tracker pages, but I do tend to, well, not really keep up with them as the month goes along. So I decided to only do two, which is the mood tracker and the habit tracker. As you can see, I decided to work with a leaf again for my mood tracker. So I drew one out and I parted it into 30 different sections, one for each day of the month. And I thought it would be really cute to fill them up with the colors that I've been using throughout the entire spread and see how it turns out at the end of the month. So each color will represent a state of mood that I'm in. And I thought it would be really, really cute to do it that way. So I just used my fine liner to draw this, and then I made a little legend on the bottom of the page for which colors to use when I'm really happy and which colors to use when I'm really sad. So I filled those out, and I think that will be a really, really cute mood tracker once it's completely filled in. I'm really excited to see what it will turn out to be. So yeah, that's what I did for my mood tracker. I also drew in the numbers of the days that I'll be filling in during the month. I used a different fine liner for that. I used the one with the 0.5 tip. In this way, the numbers will be less prominent than the leaf itself, and I thought that was really useful. So that is what I did. Okay, so onto my habit tracker now. As you can see, I have quite a lot of habits that I want to fill out during the month. So I decided to keep the title as clean and as small as possible. So I drew it in and I drew a little leaf around it and just filled it in with a couple of colors so that it's not too busy, but it still looks really nice. And then I just drew out all of the habits that I want to be doing this month, and I sketched them out up front because I already know which ones they are because I basically use the same ones every month. And I decided to go with a calendar layout so that when I fill out one of the habits, I can just put a dot over the date that I've been doing the habit, and then I can see whether I've kept up with them or not. Bear in mind, I don't actually want to do all of these habits every day because that will be nearly impossible since there are 12 of them. But I just want to see how well I keep up with them during the month. So that's why I chose to do all of them. So sorry, by the way, for not turning this the right way because you obviously can't see everything that I'm doing. But I will promise you, once it's all done, you can see everything very well. Once my habits were in place, I decided to use my markers to give them a bit more color, and so I highlighted all of the titles of the habits that I tried to accomplish during the next month, and I think the end result looks really cool. It makes the page a bit more playful. It makes it stand out a bit more. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that one turned out. Next, I'll be starting to fill out the calendar layouts of my habit trackers. So I'll be started to filling in all the numbers of the dates. And I think this is a really, really tough job. I just can't seem to get it right. It's not that I'm actually mess up the numbers or something, but I feel like most of the numbers that I write at the end of the page are not really that readable anymore. Does somebody have any tips for this? Because I really do want to write them out myself, but I just can't seem to do it right somehow or other. Well, anyway, if it works for me, right? As long as I can see which numbers I need to fill out, I know I'm doing the best thing I can, but well, I'd like to do them better anyway. So if you have any tips or tricks, just leave a comment below and I'll be happy to look forward to these. Okay, so last up is my weekly spread. For my weekly spread, I decided to stick with the leaf theme because I thought it was really, really fun to work with. And so I drew a big leaf in the center of the pages and I drew them out with my markers. And I used all the different colors and I thought the end result looked really good. But it was just sort of missing something. And as you'll see, when I stop drawing with the markers, I'll pick up my fine liner and fill in a bit with my fine liner as well, just do the outlines. Okay, so now I'll be drawing in the days of the week, and I'm doing this in a bit of a scribbly sort of hand lettering, just plain simple. And I add a really long drop after the last letter because I think that looks really cool, and it just connects the days of the week to the actual leaf. As you can see, I'm using quite a bit of room for my daily spreads, but I really need that because I think it's really useful to plan both my events, but also write out a little bit about what I did that day. However, I don't do the same for Saturday and Sunday, and that's because I usually don't plan that much on Saturday and Sunday. So I divided them up by using little leaves, which you can see me drawing right now. And I think that looks really cool. Also, even though you can't really see it clearly right now, I added in a little post-it note with notes on it. I thought that would be really useful for scribbling down things that I don't really know where else to put. And I colored that in with the markers as well as the little leaves. And then I added the dates of the days with the colored markers as well. I think that looks really playful and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So that is my entire November spread. I really hope you guys liked it. Since it's my first bullet journal video ever, just give it a huge thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next month. Bye!